What do you get when you mix Overwatch, Team Fortress 2, League of Legends, and Dota all into one pot of goodness and then mix it all together with Valve's squeaky clean polish and art style? You get a game that is sure to take the gaming world by storm, and kind of already has. You get a game that is sure to ruin my life entirely because I won't want to stop playing it, just like rage-inducing League of Legends did when I was a teenager.
You're fucking kidding me!
You get Valve's latest game, Deadlock. Valve is actually releasing a new IP for the first time in ages, and it is already fantastic. Deadlock was Valve's biggest yet worst kept secret, but now the cat is completely out of the bag. It was a fake cat, alright? It was a fake cat. It wasn't like this. Okay, calm down. The Deadlock Alpha has been going on for many months with a very limited player count. However, there was an embargo that prevented anybody from showcasing footage of the game or talking about it. Now that the embargo has been raised, so has the player count, quite significantly. With an all-time peak of over 170k, the floodgates have now opened. Deadlock is sure to become an absolute behemoth, just like all of Valve's other smash hits. Deadlock is a hero shooter. No, like a good and original hero shooter. It's a 6v6 third-person hero shooter MOBA. Bear with me. Valve's catalog consists of a long list of some of the most popular games ever, two of which already fit the MOBA and hero shooter categories, with Dota 2 and Team Fortress 2 respectively. Not only does Valve's track record hold up tremendously, but in a way they are already experienced in the market that Deadlock sits in. It's a perfect mesh of what they've already executed on before, with a beautiful new blend of spices and variety, along with some more interesting ideas. The premise of Deadlock is simple, yet seems pretty complex if you've never played a MOBA before. There's 4 lanes within the map, each one color-coded for our simpleton brains to remember. Yellow lane, orange lane, blue lane, and pink lane. Actually, with the latest update, the minimap now looks like this. An orange lane has been changed to green lane. This game is going to be very hard to communicate with colorblind teammates. As the game goes on, you get stronger, and you progress through the lanes, taking down enemy structures that block your path. The end goal is to get to the final enemy structure here, the patron. Once you destroy the patron, you win. And then you rinse and repeat, and then rinse and repeat, and then rinse and repeat, because this game is a MOBA, and most people will be hopelessly addicted to this game for the next 10 years. In the beginning of the match, you will be in what's called the laning phase. Each team will have minions that stroll down the lanes and help you push. The way that you get to lane in this game is awesome, by the way. In your base, you'll look up and see 4 rail lines, and then you Bioshock Infinite your way across the map. In lane, you're going to want to deal damage or even try to kill the opponents on the enemy team that you are laning against, while also farming up on minions. When you kill a minion, you get some souls. Souls are this game's currency. It's equivalent to gold in League of Legends. By the way, if I make comparisons to League instead of Dota, it's because I've played League for way too many years and I never got into Dota. Also because Dota sucks. Once you kill a minion, little bonus souls come out, and you're going to want to shoot those to secure them because enemies can deny these extra souls by shooting them first, and you can do the same to them. See these little orange souls that are popping out of my minions when they die? You're going to want to pop those to deny your enemies of some cash. I think this is a great mechanic, and it adds a whole other side of laning that isn't found in other MOBAs. The obstacles in each lane are the same. As you push with your minions, the first one you will encounter will be the Guardian. It's this guy here with the Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire on his head.
Harry, you put your name in the Goblet of Fire.
After the Guardian, you'll find a big 4-legged spider tank, otherwise known as a walker.
What is that?
Once you get past the walker, you'll find 2 more guardians standing side by side. After you take those down, you're in the base. You have to kill 2 shrines to expose the enemy patron.
Got both the shrines. Nice.
You're not going to your base. Once it's exposed, you kill it in phase 1, then it goes down into the pit, and you kill it in phase 2, and that's when you win. There's a lot of stuff you have to kill. Once the first guardians start to fall, this is where the game opens up a bit and people start to branch out and hop into other lanes. It's the point in every MOBA where things start to turn and get a bit more chaotic. Team fights will break out and one team will typically start to pull ahead of another. How do you get ahead, you ask? Well, remember those souls we were popping before? You get them by not only killing minions, but killing enemy players as well. The more souls you have, the more items you can buy in the item shop, and the stronger and stronger you will get. Now, the item shop in this is a tad bit overwhelming at first.
Oh my goodness!
However, I think this is a part of the game that really shines through. There seems to be so much different build potential, even more so than other MOBAs. Luckily, there is a built-in recommended builds tab for whatever character you happen to be playing. These builds are made by the community and you can even sort them by rating. This helps so much when you're first learning the game. There's so many items and there seems to be so many different ways that you could play each hero in this game. Oh, I haven't even talked about the heroes yet. There's plenty of different heroes in this early period of the game, and they all feel so unique and fun to play, each having 4 abilities, one of those being an ultimate. There's not too many heroes in Deadlock right now, but in League, they're currently up to this number. I can only imagine what the Deadlock roster will look like further down the line. Some of my favorite heroes so far would have to be Grey Talon, because he flies around and shoots high damaging arrows, and he's fucking broken. 7, because he looks cool and his ultimate does this.
Nice.
Nice.
And he's broken. Abrams, because his design is awesome. He looks like Hellboy. His ult also makes you fly up into the air and then smash down on enemies and stun them. And he's fucking broken.
I'm unstoppable.
Alright, I feel kind of bad now.
Warden is great too because his ult sucks the life out of everyone around him, and believe it or not, he is pretty broken.
You got them both?
Yep.
You're fucking great.
The combat just feels so varied in Deadlock. And yes, it's true. A lot of people do feel busted and overpowered in this game. But it's sort of the thing where if everyone is overpowered, then nobody is overpowered, you know? I have not tried all the heroes, but I've played at least half of the roster. And everyone is pretty unique and they all look drastically different. Yamato is actually quite terrifying with her bean head.
The fuck is that?
Valve has straight up come out and said that this is temporary artwork for her and they're going to fully rework her design, thank God. Everyone else is just awesome and the art style is great. It all just feels very Valve. Probably because they made the game. All of the abilities, hero variety, and ways in which you can build each hero truly makes this game feel like something special.
But wait! There's more!
In Deadlock, you could roll, slide, jump, double jump, wall jump, air dash, parry, and melee, as well as charged melee.
See ya.
The melee in particular is one of my favorite parts of the game. It's super fun to play Abrams and go like a melee lifesteal type build. You just wind up and chunk your opponents while simultaneously regaining all of your health.
What are you doing? What are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? What are you guys doing?
Since this is a third-person MOBA, all of these movement mechanics and people jumping around like monkeys really changed the game from a MOBA like League of Legends. In League of Legends, there is no Z axis. You don't have to look up or look down. It's all just a top-down view. So you don't have to worry about these apes just flying all around and smashing down on your head. The map is more complex in Deadlock because of this verticality. And there's a lot of nooks and crannies where people could be hiding. There's also plenty of NPC mobs to farm up on and find within the map that give you bonus souls. There's even a boss in the middle of the map known as Mid-Boss. Maybe later on in development they could come up with a little bit more creative of a name. In League of Legends, this part of the map with these NPC monsters would be referred to as the jungle. That term doesn't really make much sense in Deadlock because it's set in New York City, but we're still going to call it the jungle. Actually, it kind of does make sense. Concrete jungle where dreams are made of. Anybody? Alright, let me know if you've been enjoying Deadlock as much as I have. There's so much to cover in this game, but you really just have to play it to dive deeper into it and start to really understand it. What heroes have you been maining, and how many hours do you have on the game? I think the sky is the limit with Deadlock. I can only imagine how many millions of players it will eventually have, and how big the competitive scene is going to be for this game as well. If you'll excuse me, I have to get back to playing more of this game before people start to catch on how the game works and start to get really good at it and start to destroy me. See ya.